হবে?
কম বেশি হতে পারে, দুটো থাকলেও অডিওটা মানে রেকর্ডিংয়ে ভালো হবে।
আচ্ছা, বারবার আপনাকে এসে লাগাই দিতে হবে।
তখন এটা ইউজ করতে
Okay. So a very good morning to all of you. We have come to the conclusion of Iconia 2024. So welcome to the valedictory session. So today we have as guest of honor our Associate Dean of Interdisciplinary Studies and Biotechnology and Biosciences, Professor D.K. Pratihar with us. And as our chief guest, Professor R.N. Banerjee, who is a former faculty member of this department with us. So I would like to invite Professor Pratihar and Professor Banerjee onto the dais. So Professor Pratihar, please. जाओ जाओ. So So I would also like to invite Professor Maiti and Professor Janamani to come to the dais. So first we will start with a summary of Iconia 2024 by Professor Jhareshwar Maiti, who is also the organizing chair and convener of Iconia 2024 and head of the department of Industrial and Systems Engineering. Professor Maiti.
Very good morning. Welcome to this function. Professor R.N. Banerjee, our former colleague, Professor D.K. Pratihar, Professor from Mechanical Engineering Department and Dean Interdisciplinary and Biotechnology and Biosciences, Professor Madam Janamuni, convener, Professor Ray, Professor Mohanty, and other professors here who are from our department and other departments, participants, particularly the scholars and authors, staff members, students, and obviously all the helping hands starting from NPTEL, CEP to the also from the Department of ISC point of view. My hearty welcome to all of you for this valedictory function after 2.5 days of complete sessions, and it's the final one, but although the last one, but also very important one, and I am happy to see many of you are here, and that is another interesting part of it, that usually everyday presentation over, then someone will go and next day some other authors and presenters will come. That also happened in this conference, and but still there are plenty of people who are with us today, and I'm hopeful that some of the presenters, authors, they are in online also, on online mode also. So with this, I would like to summarize the Iconia 2024, and as you understand, this conference is on industrial engineering and analytics, and I want to start with Professor Banerjee, R.N. Banerjee. Basically, if you say industrial engineering, then obviously the operations management and operations research, and information systems, These are the few areas which are so well developed, well known and integral part of this industrial and systems engineering domain. And here is one person with us who had showed us that how actually to implement the industrial engineering tools, techniques, concepts in real life problem solving, particularly in the educational institutes like IIT systems. I can recall the 2007-8 that time when the I can say IIT Kharagpur Professor Acharya was director that time, and then he has given Professor Banerjee, and in fact Professor Banerjee and Professor Acharya, they are also very close friends. So they imbibed the idea that why can't there be enterprise ERP system for IIT. And today I am telling you, without IIT, we are without ERP, we are nowhere. We all are dependent on ERP. So when ERP is a software, enterprise resource planning software, and obviously everybody will think that okay, there are some computer science professors or some computer science group who will be developing it. That was the very layman idea, like me that time. But it was given to Professor Banerjee because he is professor of industrial and systems engineering department, and this is the best department to do this, and none other than Professor Banerjee can do this. So he had made it possible, and now this ERP system is being utilized or used by other institutes like NIT Durgapur and others. They are using it. So the whatever you have learned in this 3 days conference, then this particular area, this domain where the information system IT as well as the functional knowledge of the educational system, combining them together, and Professor Banerjee has developed and showed us the path that see the what industrial engineers should do. In addition, I want to tell you probably that during his time, it was probably from the industry funding point of view, probably it reached the peak of the funding. At any point on time, there were a huge amount of funding. We are basically, once Professor Banerjee left, and after retirement he left, then definitely we are with lot of industry connect, like Professor Banerjee was having with lot of industry connect, but the amount of funding what he has brought to the department, to the institute, we have not able to reach even today. So you can understand that in front of you today there is someone who is icon. So I want, please give a big hands to Professor R.N. Banerjee. Sir, it is our tribute to you from the department side also. We really admire you and your contribution. And this particular conference is very apt for Professor Banerjee also from his contribution point of view. And we are extremely happy that he is with us, and we will also listen after some time. He used to tell all the new ideas, and those ideas after 20 years only we realized that why we have not listened that time, that kind of ideas. So with this, I just want to brief you that what happened in this 2.5 days program. So you all know that there are 6 thematic tracks, and all of you participated in some of the tracks, but maybe 1 or 2 or more. You might have not got the time to go through all the tracks, but all those recordings will be available, particularly from the keynotes, inaugural and valedictory point of view, and definitely your that presentations all are that Google link records are also there. So those who have missed some of the sessions, and you can see this. So I don't want to repeat what are the 6 tracks, but you all know that we started with operation research analytics, then operations management, process excellence, quality, human factors, ergonomics, safety, e-business, information system, and manufacturing and service systems point of view. And it's a large number of presentations also were held during this period. And I am happy to tell you that we are lucky to have 8 keynote speeches, starting with Professor Shankar K. Pal. I think all of you were there. He was known as Shankar K. Pal, and you can Google Professor Pal and you will see that what are the enormous contribution he has made in the area of AI and data science and machine learning, particularly starting from pattern recognition onwards. So we our Dr. M.R.M. Rao, he also from that ex-director ASL, DRDO, you have also listened to him. You have listened to Dr. Bharat Bhushan, you have listened to Dr. Jubaraj, you have listened to Professor Allen from Ohio State University. So including and also our professor, Professor Ray, Professor Mohanty, as well as you have listened to one of our gold medalists, that Samir Abdul Aziz. Is the gold medalist, means the topper of the institute in the master when he was doing master. So we are really happy to rewrite these things again. By saying this, I am basically remembering all those what are their contribution there. And I am sure that you have gone through all the lectures or presenters, what are the topics and title. When Professor Amit Patro in the introduction section, inaugural session, he said this department could be better named as integration engineering, but actually industrial engineering is integrate all the engineering disciplines together, and starting from the design to disposal point of view, and we have that legacy, and we are basically carrying this legacy. We are imbibing with new science and technologies and assimilating those knowledge base into our system. So being industrial engineer, you must know that you are a dynamic one from the academic pursuit point of view. Obviously, you have to keep this in your mind, and from this conference, at least this is one of the clear message to all of you, that it is one department which can never be stagnant in the sense from the development point of view. Every day new things are coming, because you are catering to all the engineering, all the technological fields, not only just one. Those days are gone that just one or two engineering discipline will be thinking of industrial engineering work. No, it is now for everybody, beyond engineering also. When you are talking about service, now the statistics, economics, so those groups are also equally contributing, and mathematics was always contributing to in this area. So participants who are present, who are here, either today online and offline, I am just telling you, that's from your point of view, sky is the limit. Now that data analytics, operation research, supply chain management, so many topics we have covered. So I don't want to go into that part of the discussion here again. So I'm sure you all have enjoyed it very much from your learning point of view, from your networking and knowledge sharing point of view, and obviously I'm sure that some of you will come back again, not only for another conference, but definitely you'll start your networking with IIT Kharagpur, or also other different companies who have came here for them. I am sure you have done this. So you all know that there are 118 presentations, and offline presentation was 50, online 68. And it's a good amount of presentation, I can say. Considering the international conference of repute, it is really a good one, and we should remember this. That is what is my personal belief. You will be happy to note that there are a lot of industry participation are there. In this, not only in the sense of sponsoring, but also in the sense of participating in the as delegates or authors or keynotes, something like this. To name some of the industries, that one is GAIL, that is Gas Authority of India Limited, then Western Coalfield Limited, then Mahanadi Coalfield Limited, then SK Traders, then Adani from AI point of view, Tata Metallics Limited, and now Tata Metallics is part of Tata Steel also, so that is Tata Steel. Then Tata Motors, Center for Railway Information System, Baker Hughes, we spell it, pronounce it as Hughes, but you pronounce in some other way. So I forgot, madam, I cannot say the, so Baker Hughes, then Sherry Circuits India Private Limited, then New Mangalore Port Authority. If I miss some, please, these are some of the names I could write down, so I have just told you. Any industry I missed, please pardon me, but there should be some more. Now, when it is an academic conference, obviously we all think that only the academic institutes will come and present, but ours is a different one. That's why you have seen so many industries. But definitely academic presentation will be much more compared to industry presentation point of view. Now, from the educational institutes, I want to just appraise to Professor Banerjee and Professor Protihar, as well as you might not be knowing, all of you might not be knowing all the institutes who have participated in the participated. So, starting with ISI, Indian Statistical Institute, a good amount of participation from ISI. So then IIT Bombay, IIT Roorkee, IIT Jodhpur, Ohio State University, IIM Indore, IIM Seymour, BITS Pilani, NIT Trichurapalli, NIT Calicut, VNIT Nagpur, NIT Surathkal, NIT Rourkela, NIT Agartala, Jadavpur University, Manipal Institute of Technology, Vellore Institute of Technology, Goa Engineering College. Professor Rane is there, I hope so. Professor Suraj Rane is there. So, in fact, we were because of this conference, Professor Rane become our good friend immediately after we announced for the conference. Thank you, Professor Rane. So then Cochin University of Science and Technology. So obviously there are other institutes. I could not write for all of them. So what in nutshell, what I want to tell you that this conference to me is a successful one, and you definitely the participant will are the best judge for this, and we will try to continue this program in future, in the sense that may not, if not at least yearly, but maybe in once in 2 or 3 years. And what we want from the all academic and industry partners point of view, so you equally participate, you strengthen it further. Also, why can't only IIT Kharagpur Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering will be organizing this? Why not there will be several institutes and industries together will be done this. Another opportunity for all of you, that why it will be only in IIT Kharagpur, why there could not be a conference, international conference hosted by IIT Kharagpur and the partners in some international, beyond IIT Kharagpur, maybe in Dubai or maybe in California, New York, something like this thing. So you are invited, cordially invited to look into it, particularly my industry partners, and academic partners obviously also. So why can't we go for this? And I am 100% sure that your stay at IIT Kharagpur was good, yes or no? Our team, particularly the research scholars and this team, they have done I hope that they have done their job correctly. We tried to give you as much comfort as possible, but you all know that everywhere this is basically the department of optimization. So when your resource is limited, you have to optimize. So we are not that plenty of situation of plenty of resource. So on that ground, we also optimized in many of the situations. So please pardon us if we could not provide some of the time, some of the important not only informations, also resource, not only from the manpower point of view, from food and other ambience and amenities point of view. So with this, and with the anticipation that our association continues, and in future we all again join together, maybe in a much bigger scale. I once again heartily welcome you to not only to this valedictory function, to the Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering as well as IIT Kharagpur, not only from today or tomorrow, for the years ever. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Professor Maiti. Next, I would invite our guest of honor, the Associate Dean of Interdisciplinary Studies and BTBS, Professor D.K. Pratihar, to stage and share his thoughts.
Hello, hello. I am grateful to the organizer of this conference for inviting me for this occasion. In fact, if I correctly remember, I will have to go back to 2000 when I published one paper, might be the first paper from India, that was on data analytics in 2000, and that particular paper was published in Journal of Materials Processing Technology, so far as I can remember. Now, let me start with this, because this data analytics is a field which includes many tools, many techniques. For example, say a class of tools are called the input output modeling tools. Now, if you see the statistical regression analysis, that is a tool which should be used for establishing the input output relationship, particularly in the forward direction, that is called the forward mapping. Now, supposing that I have got one equation and I will have to do the reverse, that means knowing that output, how to set the inputs so that I can reach that desired output, that is called the reverse mapping. Now, this reverse mapping may not be always possible using your statistical regression analysis, which is carried out based on your design of experiments. That was the reason why I had to switch over to neural network based approaches, fuzzy reasoning tool based approaches in the year 2000. And the paper which I talked, there I used the concept of neural network fuzzy logic. All such things are coming under data analytics. This is one of the areas, but there are many other areas. But before I go for the other areas, let me tell you that using this neural network and fuzzy logic, that is called unconventional regression tool, you can carry out both forward as well as reverse mapping very easily, which may not be the possibility if I use the statistical regression analysis. And each of these groups are having its own merits and demerits. Now, how to do this regression very accurately? Sometimes you will have to take the help of your clustering, classification based on similarity of the data. Then there is another thing, another area, that is called the dimensionality reduction techniques. We human being, we can visualize only up to 3 dimensions. There is not even a single human being in the whole world who could visualize in 4 dimensions. So, the higher dimensional data ought to be mapped to the lower dimension for the purpose of visualization, and that is why all such mapping tool came. So, we have got the input output modeling, that is the regression, conventional, unconventional. Then we have got the clustering tool, the classification tool. We have got the dimensionality reduction tools. All such tools plus a few others are coming under the data analytics tool, but there are a few others as I told. Now, if I see from the other angle, from AI point of view, now before I go for AI tools, let me tell you another thing. AI tools are different from HI tools. So, how to find out the difference between whether it is the artificial intelligence or the human intelligence? Let me take a very simple example designed by me only. Now, to find out the difference between AI and this HI, human intelligence, because once again I will be coming back to data analytics. But before that, I just want to understand the difference between AI and HI, which is very important, because many people ask me, because I had the experience in the field more than 28-29 years. Many people asked me, can your AI defeat HI? It's very difficult to answer, but I will take one example, you will understand it is very simple to answer. Now, let me take a very simple example. Supposing that one undesired incident has occurred at a particular city, there is a murder case. So, what should be the sequence of operation? Investigation will start, and the policeman will try to find out who could be the possible murderer. Now, if the policeman can solve it, problem is solved. But supposing that the policeman could not solve it, what should be the next step? The next step is very simple. The policeman is going to take the help of one sniffer dog, okay, and the sniffer dog will be given that responsibility. There is a possibility that the sniffer dog will be able to find out who could be the possible murderer. Now, what is the intelligence of the sniffer dog? It is the artificial intelligence. And who has trained it? The same policeman who could not solve the problem. He has trained that particular sniffer dog, knowing the fact that the dog has got a very strong smell sensor, which we do not have. So, the smell sensor of a dog is much more stronger compared to that of a human being, and the policeman is using that particular property of a sniffer dog to train it to incorporate artificial intelligence to the head of the sniffer dog, so that the sniffer dog can easily solve that particular problem. This is a clear example. AI can beat HI. Take another example. Take a small mathematics. 2 plus 3 equals to how much? Ask the policeman. Within a fraction of second, policeman will say 5. Ask the sniffer dog. No answer. Okay. So, here the human intelligence is going to defeat AI. Okay. So, there is no questions of comparing this HI and HI and AI. So, what you will have to do is, depending on the task, you will have to use either AI or HI or a combination. And now I am in a position, nobody can catch me which one is better. So, this is the way I explained in several occasions. Now, I am just coming to data analytics and AI tools. Remember, AI tools are computer programs, but not all computer programs are AI tools. So, you will have to be careful. Now, if you see the region of AI, for example, say if I just draw one set of AI, if this is your AI, the set for AI, the machine learning, that is your ML, is here only, it is a subset. And within this particular ML, we have got the deep learning network. This is actually the reason why this AI has become today's AI. All of you know, in fact. The first project on AI that was actually sanctioned in the year 1956, that was on Bayesian logic. It was a success. The second successful project on AI, that was the DARPA project. The aim was to design and develop intelligent robots. I am very fortunate, I could talk to some of the people who worked on DARPA project when I was in Germany. Now, with the successful implementation of DARPA project, AI could reach some popularity, but once again there was a decreasing trend of AI, and with the successful implementation of deep learning network, AI has become today's AI. But remember, deep learning network has got many merits and demerits also. And out of all the demerits, the most important one is the forgetting tendency of the deep learning network. Okay. So, there are several such occasions where deep learning network could not remember, it could forget. And how to overcome, I have my own theory, I am not going for discussion that, another big area. Okay. But here, so deep learning network, inside that there is another subset that is called your generative AI. You might have heard about generative AI, nowadays sustainable AI and all such things, but this is the picture. Now, your data analytics is coming mainly here in your machine learning, inside the machine learning. So, this machine learning, it can be actually this particular term can be replaced by all data analytics tool. Can I get one marker slightly better? So much time is not there, I will have to do it. Now, this ML tool, if you see, these are all data analytics tool, and there is a separate name that is called computational intelligence tools, CI tools. Okay. Now, I am just going to very quickly draw one picture where I will show you what do you mean by computational intelligence tool, what could be your data analytics tool, what could be your machine learning tools. And remember, machine learning is a subset of AI. There are many other tools also. For example, the rules used, if you see the old AI, theorem proving, symbolic logic, they are also coming under the umbrella of AI, but not machine learning tools. Machine learning tools are subset. And if I see from the other angles, it is almost similar to the situation that these machine learning tools, that is the modern your data analytics tools, are lying on three strong pillars. What are those? One is the nature inspired optimization tools, huge literature, 100 algorithms, 100 tools are available around. We have got the fuzzy logic for dealing with imprecision and uncertainty. We have got the neural network for dealing with once again uncertainty and imprecision. If I just combine them, you will be getting some combined tools. Those are also called the soft computing tools, the computational intelligence tool. Those tools are the real data analytics tools. Now, I am just going to show you on the schematic view very quickly. So, on the 3D, if I just plot, for example, say this is my optimization tools, and if I just consider this is my fuzzy logic and this is my neural networks. So, the combined tools are something like this. I can visualize almost similar to that. So, all your data analytics tools, the computational intelligence tools, machine learning tools, whatever you call, these things are lying on this particular 3D, this type of surface. Okay. These are actually our data analytics tools. And another thing I just want to tell before I stop, data analytics tools and the different philosophy like generative AI, sustainable AI and all such things. People are discussing more about all such schemes and less towards these particular tools, which is very dangerous. Okay. So, you will have to concentrate more on the tools, less on all such strategies, because strategies are dependent on the tools only. If I do not know the basic principle of fuzzy logic, if I do not know the basic principle of neural network, if I do not know the basic principle of non-traditional and traditional optimization, can I develop one sustainable AI tool? It is totally impossible. So, your philosophy will remain on the philosophy, no such product is going to come. So, if you want to get the product, my request is concentrate more on the tools, less on strategies. Strategy will be developed, it is not a big problem. Knowing the fundamentals of the tools is the main thing. Okay. So, with this I hope I am able to tell you where we should concentrate more in data analytics. We should be more on this particular surface only, instead of discussing this is generative AI, this is sustainable AI and all such things. Everywhere people are talking about these, this. There is no end of it, but if you do not know how to develop the tools, this discussion has got no meaning to me. So, with this I just want to conclude. If you have any doubt, I will try my level best to clear. Okay, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. See, these tools are the main thing. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Pratihar, for the excellent presentation. And for those who are interested, Professor Pratihar has an excellent NPTEL course on fuzzy logic and neural network. So those who are interested in these techniques, you can definitely learn a lot from that course. And he has other courses also. Thank you once again for giving us this insight. I would invite Professor Sharma, SP Sharma, to present Professor Pratihar with a small token of gratitude. Thank you. So next we will open up to our participants. We thank all the participants to be here and making our Iconia 2024 a success. We would love to hear from you about your experience, how we can do even better, and what are your thoughts. So this mic. So, okay. So, who would like to share his or her thoughts? Maybe. So, Dr. Prabhu, so let us start with. Huh? Yes.
Thank you very much for this Iconia to participation in this program, and I feel that only one thing I would like to suggest, that these kind of conferences should have some industrial application aspect also. I feel this is much more oriented on that institutional means aspects, and it's our humble request. There are a lot of industry application is there. So if participation in the industry people, that will be a great idea for this kind of success of this kind of seminar, and it will be very helpful too to the industry also. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Mr. Chaudhary, for the insight. Actually, we have had some industrial participation, like Dr. Babu presented an excellent keynote speech from DRDO. We also had Dr. Bharat Bhushan as a keynote address, and also Mr. Anshuman Bhattacharya. But definitely we should try to do more collaboration. So next.
I think
yes.
no, we have a few application area also. Yes, I request you to go through the total program. There are our scholars also presented some of the real applications. So that will be, and in fact, yes, we definitely try for more, particularly bringing industry participants and presenting their problem and challenges. Yes, thank you for your suggestion.
So next, maybe Dr. Prabhu to share his thoughts.
Good morning, all of you. It is nostalgia. I'm back in my alma mater. Professor R.N. Banerjee is my supervisor in my master's days and also in my PhD days. I had done my MTech in the Department of Mathematics in Computer Science and Data Processing. I still remember I had, the project in which I had participated was face recognition system for crime identification using distributed computing. And this subject I take it now, distributed systems and distributed computing. And then I continued for PhD in retinal biometric pattern analysis system. Sir, those logistics and those methodologies what we implemented is helping me now in all my healthcare projects what I am carrying out at Manipal Academy of Higher Education. Some of them have completed as PhD and also we got ICMR funds. Coming back to the conference, it has been an eye-opener. I learned because first time I'm going through ergonomics and also system dynamics talks, and there was a lot of insight because we need them now currently for integrating our healthcare projects, whatever we are doing in neurology, ophthalmology, orthopedics, and even some part of the work what we are doing is on the fetus abnormalities like Down syndrome. So this is what currently we are doing, and also to motivate people to give blood. So this is the recent one which we are doing with Department of Hematology and one. So this has been really an eye-opener, not only for me, even for my students. They presented papers, and they are second year BTech students. There were 5 groups. When I got your email, I was troubling you enough number of times, sending you emails and other things. But you have really supported till the end so that we could get at least those 5 small. I'm not saying that we have done something big, but a small contribution towards industrial and systems engineering. And what makes me to feel still nostalgic more, my father was in the industrial engineering department in all the 4 steel plants, Durgapur, Bokaro, Bhilai and Rourkela. So he had written some papers. The last paper he wrote in 1992 in the Journal of Industrial Engineering was an integrated steel plant, and Professor Damodaracharya was editor of that journal, Journal of Industrial Engineering in Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering in NITI Bombay. Now it's become IIM Bombay. So considering all that, I'm coming back here after 12 years, but I feel that when I am in Mahe also, I have that IIT in me. So that brand really helps. Not only in Manipal, I have been abroad in some of the universities like with whom I have tie-ups with Deakin University. We have tie-ups and I have completed guiding one student there in Mahe Deakin collaboration on tourism and information abuse with Professor Gangli. That would not have happened if I was not alumni from here. There's one among them, and rest other places like we are doing something on cyber physical systems with San Jose with Dr. Saptarshi Sengupta, and this would not have been possible if I was not alumni from here. This has really helped. And sir, coming to your talk, I really gained, like you said that AI depends on machine learning depends on artificial neural network, and artificial neural network depends on deep learning. Surely I'll go through those NPTEL lectures, and I'll also tell my students that they should go through. And some few words from them towards, I told them to give their just 2 words from them. Like
Sure.
Good morning, everyone. It has been a pleasure presenting at Iconia. Coming to the conference, the chair for my session was Professor P.K. Ray, and his feedback and his points that he mentioned have been really helpful, and I will surely look into those when I work forward, going forward, and I will be sure to include those points in my future work. Thank you so much.
Hello sir, it's been a privilege to be a part of this conference. I also had some really great feedback from and I'll be sure to look into that as well and read up more on that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So any other participant wants to share? Maybe so okay, ma'am from Smita madam from Baker Hughes.
So I had one input, that's all. What I want is, like sir said, more industry participation, and that can come from reaching out to more industries for maybe sponsoring the Iconia, and having an industry track. So that way there can be more participation, there can be more funding. That is my suggestion.
Yeah, that is a very good suggestion. We even we were planning for an industry conclave, We reached out to some of the companies also, but anyway, moving forward, we will keep that in mind and plan ahead. So thank you, ma'am. Anyone from maybe one of our sponsors from Gale, anyone wants to say anything?
Good morning, everyone. This is Kumod Ranjan from Gale India Limited. Actually, this conference was very excellent platform for me because I get to understand and get to know a lot of new things. I was fascinated about the AI and machine learning about all these things, and get to know the things. And in future, I'll try to read about the fundamentals and all things. Try to integrate it into our industrial applications. So that's a very good program. I presently don't have anything to suggest, but I think thank you all for this conference.
Thank you, Mr. Ranjan. We hope you will be back in our future programs. So I think we can move on to our next uh, talk. So I would invite Professor R.N. Banerjee to share his thoughts. He was associated with our department for a long time. So, sir, please.
Good afternoon. I like to thank Professor Maiti for remembering me. For remembering me and requesting me to come and be the chief guest for the valedictory session. I was totally unprepared. I'm totally disconnected from any academics or anything. I just live a peaceful life now. The other thing, that when he invited me, I thought, what should I talk about? He said, you talk about ERP and so on. Now, that's a past game, that's been done. But I want to make both the institute and the department aware of the problems with the system. How do you sustain it? You see, you have to understand the ecosystem of it. You hire boys who come here, they learn the system, then they do their own coding. If there's no control over the coding, what will happen? The entropy will increase. It will go more and more towards disaster. So, the way ahead here is AI. You have to put, say, in the Microsoft Studio or Google Studio, you can put up the codes and you do a thorough scan and request how to maintain that code if certain division occurs. It is very important. So what you are trying to develop is basically a system which will monitor the system. So the question of people monitoring it, who may be random, who may go off for better prospects, and that is one of the biggest calamity of the system. So the ERP system itself should be automated and to come up with a very intelligent design. This is very important. Otherwise, this will collapse within another 5-10 years, because the diversity will become so much that you won't be able to maintain it. So that is one of the reasons that I asked the authorities of this institute to give a real thought into it. The second thing that I want to say is the incentive process of the people who are working. They don't, once they're into the system, they are stuck into a particular scale and promotion process. So we should think about a proper incentive scheme for them. That is very essential to get them motivated. The third is, people once they get in, after getting a lot of red slips from the industry, they come here, they say, I've got a secure job in this line, which is a very ineffective line. So once I get it, I'm okay. This breeds complacency. And in things like software, AI, you cannot stay static. You have to always learn. If that learning system is defunct, you have got a very bad system. So this thing is, the entropy is increasing, and we must raise some safeguards against those. And that also has to be creative. So that now when you go and implement in some places, you should gather those data, gather those logic, and pre-program it and make an installer which will install in very fast, definitive way by asking certain textual questions. That is one of the main things that has to be done if you want to make the system survive. So regarding Professor Pratihar has talked a lot about this, the AI and the tools that are needed for AI. There are certain things that are developing very fast. One is the Whiteman, I think, who recently released chat, not GPT, GPT-5. GPT-5, now that is, and it's a 10% cumulative increase over the past GPT-4. Now you have to understand that, for instance, how accurate it is. For that, they do a reliability test. For instance, say they took a film of about 40 minutes, and in that 40 minutes, they wanted to do a needle in the haystack process, meaning find a minute idea in that large data set where you can capture it by textual interface. That means it said that in that film, where did you find that a paper was being taken out? And it has to find it. That is the haystack, and the needle is what you have to find out. It took from that video feed and video and audio feed, it took only 1 minute to do that. Now this requires a lot of number of tokens to be studied, parameters to be studied. So that kind of a effect is very important, and not for developers. Developers, as Professor Pratihar has already said, what you need to concentrate on. There are many other techniques which you need to do. Data compression, then all these also manipulation of data rendering. So therefore, you have to have a whole lot of technique. But for me, who is not into the development side, if I have to use it, I have to use it from a linguistic point of view, by a chat, by a text. From text to what result I want. That is very important. For instance, we can start right here with the ERP system to check the accuracy of data. We have got a lot of data here. On our academic side. You want to give access to people, to the government, to see how the education system is working. We can generate, and we have got very standard, we don't have visual or this data, but we do have very good database structured data. It's very simple to use a textual format, maybe by the ministry, who can go and poke what is the actual situation here. This can be installed in all the universities. So you have a good, essential, very simple tool, but which will go and collect the necessary data and the statistics that has to go with it. So the government gets a good handle on the education system and maybe develop the strategies or budget process on that. This is the upper thinking which is outside the ERP framework, but ERP has got a fabulous amount of data that has to be given to researchers, and it has to be anonymously given to researchers so that nobody is identified, but the general picture comes out. That is very important. That is the new module that should be incorporated in that. I want to thank all the professors, very senior professors, Professor Mohanty, Professor P.K. Rai, Professor Sharma, Professor Jha, all the participants, and I am amazed by Professor Maiti's dynamicism, who has created the plethora of applications which engineering come management, I should think, the system of the whole thing, he has developed into a very, very fine department. It's a marked change from say 10 years or 15 years back. So I think everybody should credit Professor Maiti with a fantastic delivery system he has done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Banerjee, for your encouragement and the insights. So I would request Professor Rai to come and present Professor Banerjee a small note of thanks from our department. So we are coming to the end of this valedictory session. I would request Professor Janavani to share the vote of thanks with you all. Thank you.
Hello, এটা দিয়ে করি Good morning, everyone. So we have come to the end of this 3 days program, our conference, Iconia 2024. And in this valedictory function, now it is my responsibility, a very important responsibility, to thank everyone who have helped directly and indirectly. And to be very frank, everybody in fact helped. And if when I say few names or address few people in particular, that doesn't mean that we are excluding others. To start with, let me first thank our chief guest, Professor Arun Banerjee, who, I'm really happy to see sir after such a long time. And I just wanted to show my room myself to sir because it was his room previously, and his lab used to, which was his lab, is now has become a part of my students' activities. So I really wanted to show him that. I'm really thankful, sir. You have, you have kept our request and you are here. And next, Professor D.K. Pratihar, Associate Dean, our Interdisciplinary Studies and BTBS. And thank you, sir, for being here on a Sunday, sparing your valuable time. And not only that, you have also given your insight on a very important topic today. Thank you, sir. Our director, who is the chief patron, our deputy director, who is the patron of this conference, we are really thankful to them. Without their support, it would not have been possible. Our head of the department and organizing secretary, as well as the convener of this conference, Professor J.M.I.T. And as Professor Banerjee has said, he has dynamically managed the department and this one as well, this conference as well. Thank you, Professor Maiti. Then we have our senior faculty members, Professor Ray, Professor Mahanti, Professor Sharma, without whose support this would not have been possible. And yesterday also we saw two very important lectures by Professor Ray and Professor Mahanti. Thank you, sir. And coming to our next tier of faculty members, Professor Jha for managing finance, Professor Akhilesh Kumar for managing submissions, Professor Professor Gautam for managing food, Professor Krishna Kumar for managing logistics, then our Professor Rai Chaudhary, who is the organizing secretary, and really, I am really very thankful to him because for so long he has been working incessantly for the success of this. Professor Menon, Professor Abhishek, Professor Anand, they have done their work, for the whole this time, starting from the inception of this project till the end, they have really worked very hard. Then our dark horses again, our research scholars, I will just take few names, but that mean I am excluding others. So research scholars, Deepak for logistics, Deepak and team for logistics, then Suraj, Kaushik, Saurav and Akshay for overall coordination, Madhvika, Gaurav for managing registration desk along with their team, Swarna Kamal for managing the website, all our master students for helping us, first year master student, second year master student, and even today first years are not there, but on the very first day, I also saw some of our first years being present here and helping us. Thank you, students. Then we thank Institute Administration for helping us and giving opportunities in our various, in their whatever is under their possibilities. Then we thank CP for giving their valuable time and doing the recording starting from the beginning till the end. In fact, some of us might be there absent for some time, but their team throughout the day were present. Thank you very much. Then our department administration, Anupda, Jayantda and team for working very hard. Our sponsor, GAIL, WCL, SK Traders for providing funding, which helped us in managing our program very well. And all the session chairs and co-chairs for managing the session. And finally, but the most importantly, all our participants. And we also got some of the feedback. And as Professor Maiti said, we are going to continue with this conference. So as we continue, we also expect support from our participants so that they will come and contribute in our future activities. Okay, thank you everyone.
So thank you. That brings us to the close of Iconia 2024. And so thank you everyone for joining us, and we appreciate your all the help and support. And there is one more name I just wanted to add. So that is Shantanu, our research scholar. He created the initial schedule of all the sessions and tracks. So he really worked very hard on it. So thank you, Shantanu, for that. So all right. So certificates for participation and presentations will be shared with you through postal mail services sometime later. Okay. And any other? So here we come to an end. So thank you, everyone. Yes, you will be informed through email, and our website will also be updated. So yes, and the papers that would be gone through peer review process and will be published in as book chapters, you will be notified about that as well. So yeah, that would be great. So maybe outside the department we will have a photograph of everyone. Yes, a great suggestion, Abhishek. Thank you so much. So so this is this conference also brings us a great, gives us great opportunity for networking. So all the master students, MTech students of different institutes who have come to the who have participated in this Iconia, we also encourage you to look into our PhD programs, and apply for the PhD program. Also, we are starting a new MTech program, MTech in ORDA, as Professor Maiti suggested. So the undergraduate students, you are also encouraged to look into that program, and you can apply to that program. It will start from autumn 2024. So yes, so that would be a great thing. So thank you all. So any other? Okay. Tea or snacks? Yes, tea is there outside, and snacks is also there. So thank you for reminding that. So okay, thank you so much.
No, give it.